Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of Occult Studies and Ancient Magic, Discovering the Tarot. And today we are with Jorge, and we are going to be talking about the sun, the moon, and the star. We've got a trifecta today.
Oh, let me get my cards.
Okay. I'll add the first set to the stage.
Okay, I got my card.
Perfect. I've got my notebook and my pen. I'm ready.
This time we're going to start the way you like to start.
What does that mean?
We're going to start with divination definition.
Oh, okay.
Because these cards are weird.
Okay. Make this
and I brought my cards too. All right. So Book T, The Golden Dawn. And I was don't know if you want to talk about this or just go straight into the things. I was going through the lessons for the pips. That means from king to ace. And things can get very complicated. And so I need to figure out how we're going to do that. Okay. I'm thinking I'm going to approach it the way I wrote my book. Okay. But even the way I wrote my book, still gets a little too complicated. So I'm going to start with the royal cards, with the king, the queen, as they relate to astrology. And from then, so that's going to be one episode. Hopefully it'll be one episode. And then we're going to talk about Hermetic Kabbalah. We cannot get away from it.
I'm excited.
We cannot get away from Hermetic Kabbalah, and because we need to define that Kabbalistic worlds for us to be able to talk about the rest of the cards. And then there's going to be, and then from basically from the princess to the ace, it will be 4 episodes. Okay. So we are missing the royal cards, which is the king, the queen, and the knight, or the prince. And then we're going to talk about Hermetic Kabbalah and the princess. And then we're going to talk about cards 10, 9, and 8. Then 7, 6, and 5, and then 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So we're only. Would the princess be like the page? No, the page is usually the prince or the knight. Okay. Or I don't know, what do they call it? Usually, in the Golden Dawn, we call her the princess. Okay. And is the link between the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana. She's the link. Okay. But it's hard to define that without having to define the Hermetic Kabbalah. So that's perfect. All right, so let's get into the definitions from Book T of the Golden Dawn. Number 17, the star. Just basic definition. Divination's definition is hope, faith, unexpected help, but sometimes also dreaminess, deceived hope. And why would that be? Then let's read the big definition. The big definition is, this shows you're showing the card, great. This shows the 7-pointed star of Venus shining above the waters of Aquarius. Mm-hmm. If you notice, the Thoth deck does have the Aquarius sign at the bottom. And it says, the guiding force of love in all its forms and aspects illuminates the soul during her immersion in humanity. Thus, bonds of Saturn are dissolved in the purified waters of baptism. The dove is the spirit hovers above the tree of knowledge. Notice it's the tree of knowledge, but not the tree of life. Hence, that is why there is no tree of life there. And in this instance, actually, I give more points to Rider-Waite, to Pixie Smith, than I do to Lady Harris, because the birth is not in the Thoth deck. I don't see a birth.
I don't see a bird, a birth, or a tree.
There's a bird in the Rider-Waite. It's above the tree. It's on the right side. I see a
bird and tree in that one, but I don't see that in the Thoth.
That's what I'm saying. So this is the only card in both decks where the Rider-Waite is more accurate than the Thoth. Let's continue. The dove of the spirit hovers above the tree of knowledge. Notice that it's the tree of knowledge, not the tree of life. Given the promise of ultimate attainment, and on the other side gleams of the tree of life. Pale colors suggest dawn and the morning star, amethyst, pale gray, fawn, dove color, and white with the pale yellow on the star. Now, I forgot to send you my card, but my card is kind of weird. But it does have all the implements with my 5-year-old
Okay.
drawings.
I love it.
The bird is on top of Mercury. So Mercury to me is the tree of knowledge. And then also has the tree of life right here on the right side. And also says, one thing to notice is that it says waters of baptism. Mine, the woman of the star, is inside of waters. And so as if she's been baptized by the stars. Whereas the Thoth deck and the Rider-Waite do not have any of that. It seems like the woman is dipping her toe, but what the heck does that mean? She's pouring out water on the water, and she's pouring water on the earth. What the heck does that mean? And so let's try to break it down. One thing that we notice is the 7 stars. I don't know if you remember from our previous lessons, but do you know what the 7 stars mean?
I was going to ask you. So no, I'm sorry.
No worries. It's the 7 planets, the 7 primary planets.
Of course it is.
Before the invention of the telescope, there were only 7 planets visible. And so the classical magic only has 7 planets. It does not have Neptune. It does not have Uranus. It does not have Pluto. It does not have any of the other planets. That was kind of more of a Frenchy invention after they realized that there were more planets. But then again, do they really come into play? We don't know. At least
but
I
it's
don't
weird too. Because when you said the divination part was like deceived hope, to me that is what is Neptune for me.
Well, in my practice, I don't include Neptune. I don't include Uranus. I don't include Pluto.
That makes sense.
I only include the 7 visible planets, and that's because my form of magic goes back to the Greek magical papyri.
Mm-hmm.
And the Greek magical papyri is very classical, and there is no room for anything else because it's merged into mythology. It is merged into how do we calculate the movement of stars, how do we calculate the passage of time, the conjunctions with the moon. And so, and also I don't have a telescope. Well, I do have a telescope, but I don't have the time to be trying to be hunting down Neptune to figure out what the heck he is.
Yeah.
Whereas every night, if I look at the sky and there are no clouds, I can see exactly where everybody is, what constellation they are, what does it mean, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Which traditionally, in the Book of Thoth, that is how you read tarot. You don't read tarot just because, oh, let me read your cards. No. There has to be a particular astrological alignment to figure out where you're going to start your read. Because once we get into the Hermetic Kabbalah, and once we get into the kings, that is into the court cards. That is why I mentioned that in the beginning, because we're gonna have to. Our conversation is gonna start getting geared into that. Once we start doing that, we're gonna realize that as tarot cannot live without astrology. They're both interlinked. Otherwise, you don't know
what can't live without astrology.
Tarot,
got it.
Tarot cannot live without astrology. It's interlinked. Tarot cannot survive without astrology because you don't know where to begin. Because astrology, it gives you where you're going to start your read. And that's where everything starts.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're kind of lost. All right, so we got the 7 stars. And let's go back to the original definition where it says, to the divinatory definition. It says hope, faith, unexpected help. And so how or why? The reason why we get hope and faith or unexpected help is when we are able to see which of your dominant sign is on a particular constellation. and that is how we know who is going to come into your life. For example, right now, what are we right now? Still Leo?
No, we're in
Cancer?
Virgo.
We're in Virgo now.
Yep.
And so, since we're in Virgo, then therefore we're gonna read as a Virgo earthy sign, and so that's where we're gonna start. And so, hope and faith and unexpected help. When another card comes in, that is what the neighboring card, is supposed to influence. It's gonna
Okay.
it's gonna be, hope and faith and unexpected help from somebody that could be either a fire card or a water card, and that gives us more of a perspective on how we're gonna do that reading. And so the planets, the seven planets, are also kind of ruled by either heat, cold, dryness, or wetness, and that is how we're gonna start doing the reading. Another thing to notice is that it says that is the 7-pointed star of Venus, and the star of Venus is Venus, or Luciferia, the morning star, which some people assimilate with Jesus, some people assimilate with Artemis of Hecate, and then above the waters of Aquarius. So there's a little bit of an aspect of the unknown, and it's a guiding force of love. So there's good things to come, but they're easy to not quite get a grasp on. And then there's knowledge coming in. There's new beginnings with the waters of baptism. Yeah, just it's a very basic card. How many minutes we got on that one? I don't even know.
Oh, good. But is there a reason why there's even in both cards like 2 water jugs? Is there a significance for that?
Yeah, because things come, things go. It's kind of like a fluidity thing.
Okay.
Kind of like just things come and things go. I don't know. You can get very Kybalion on this, where like when it's above is what's above is what's below is what's above, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of like karma. I guess that's one aspect to see it. Even though karma is a little bit different in Hermeticism, it is not like what you do will come back to you. Karma is more like what you have predisposed yourself to become is what you will receive.
Okay.
That's kind of what karma means. And so the water coming from above and to the below is kind of like that. It's like what you're perceiving is what you're perceiving is what you express, and what you express is what you receive. It's kind of this fluidity of like knowledge based on the elements, particularly the 7 stars. Is like, for example, if you give off light's gonna come to you. That's a very solar thing. If you give up like an aspect of mystery, an aspect of kind of like being hidden or complex, that's a very lunar thing, and so therefore that will be something that you will receive. If you give out knowledge, then you will receive knowledge. That's kind of what that means. It's kind of like what is that John Lennon thing says? The love that you make is the love that you give, or the love that you give, the love that you make, or something. Very John Lennon thing. But yeah, that's kind of what the jugs mean.
Okay. And then I'm seeing, I'm not so bad at these. The Aquarius symbol on the Thoth deck.
Yeah, this card is ruled by Aquarius, and so Aquarius is kind of like that pale gray that is talking about in the book T. Is kind of like the fluidity. Aquarius is very fluid. It transposes things. It's an airy sign, and so therefore it's just fluidity. Just things ebb and flow, come and go. It's the same symbolism as the 2 jugs coming up and down.
Okay,
but it's also kind of airy, so it is not very firm. It's kind of an ambiguous fluidity, so it's easy to not really quite perceive or even grasp. Kind of like those water, kind of like that water that comes in and out.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this card is so kind of like easy, but it was also at the same time kind of hard to comprehend.
Yeah, because it kind of depends, like the cards that are around it.
Yes, and even then it's hard. So you have to really depend on the astrology of the reading to actually make sense of the reading, because otherwise it gets really hard because you don't know where you're going. This card is so hard to comprehend. It's hard to define, shall we say?
Okay.
And kind of
then
like
what's
Aquarius.
the? Defining an Aquarius is wild.
Yeah.
And then what is the Hebrew letter?
That's also similar to Aquarius. I think that one's He. No, it cannot be He. It's a Tau. No, it cannot be Tau. I'm pretty sure it's Het. It's gotta be Het. Where is it? Let me look at my cheat sheet. No, it's not Het. Where is Aquarius? Oh. I have Aquarius as Zadi and Het as Cancer. I don't know. I have to get back on you on that one. I don't know.
I'm over here asking hard questions.
My book says something different than what that card says, and I never noticed that discrepancy, so I don't know. Aquarius. Yeah, Aquarius is Zadi in my book. So, and then Het is Cancer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be a Het. But they're going off of the Papus thing.
Off the what?
Gerard Papus. He was the first guy that actually started kind of introduced tarot publicly, to the masses. And so he's 3 of life. I don't know if you can pull one up, but this 3 of life has had. Let me see, where does he have it? I don't know. I don't follow it because I think it's wrong. But that's also the one that even to this day the Golden Dawn uses, but it's still wrong because they just order them just like chronologically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9, 10, which is wrong. Let me see. 17. Oh, not even that one. That one has it as, this is Tolima. It has it as Zayin, which is what I have. Where is, I don't know. Yeah, all the stuff that I'm finding is my tree of life. I guess they probably corrected their mistake. I don't know. Oh, anyway, here's an BOTA one. I'm pretty sure this one will have it. We'll have the old one. Justice, Hermit, Zayin. Yeah, it's Adi. Yeah, I don't know. That letter is probably Het, but I don't know how is it related to Aquarius, because even the BOTA has Adi as the letter with Aquarius, and the card for star. So either that's my card too. Yeah, that letter's wrong.
Wow, look at us uncovering mysteries today.
Yeah, that letter's wrong. Even the BOTA tree, it says it's Sadi, not Het.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. I don't know. We may have to. Yeah, see, like even the Hermetic Kabbalah is gonna take forever. I don't even know how many classes we're gonna have to do on that, because now that I'm looking at the Tree of Life, it's gonna take a while.
Okay.
It's gonna take a while, and then write this one down because we're gonna have to come back and say we disprove it. It's like,
Okay.
it's not us that we're crazy. It's just that the tree of life is not showing the het there.
Yeah, interesting.
Like some trees are showing it as Zadi, some trees are showing it as showing the Ayin, but it's definitely not het. All right, number 18. We're gonna go once again with the divination definition.
Ooh, look at us.
The moon, dissatisfaction, voluntary change as opposed to death, error, lying, falsity, deception. The whole according to whether the card is well or dignified. That's some people are saying it's like upside up is well, upside down is ill dignified. That some people do it that way, and on which much it depends.
Can you repeat that slightly slower for me? I'm so sorry. I'm trying to take notes.
The whole thing?
Yes, please.
Dissatisfaction, voluntary change, as opposed to death, error, lying, falsity, deception, and the rest is kind of like depends on how the card is viewed.
Okay.
And I don't know if you want to write this one down because this one's the complicated one. The moon. Here is also a river. We're looking at the moon. Okay, great. Here is also a river, and it is the troubled waters of night, where it is to be described a crawfish, counterpart with the scarabæus. Okay, let's define that a little bit. The scarab in Egyptian mythology, which is like huge in the Golden Dawn and Rosicrucianism and even in Masonry, this scarab was the first being, the first thing ever created. And it's also a symbol of regeneration. So when we're talking about the scarab, which is in the Thoth deck, Pixie Smith went for the crawfish. When we're talking about the scarab, we're talking about the foundational concept of creation. But that necessarily mean physical creation. It can also mean mental creation. It can also mean archetypal creation. And so therefore, where it says a river that is in troubled waters of night, where it is described as the scarabæus, is basically mean the scarab is coming out of the rivers of unconsciousness. That is why Pixie is putting the little crawfish coming out of the river. In the Thoth deck, we don't really quite see a river, and it's kind of hidden. So therefore, this one is actually more accurate than the Thoth. I know it's kind of weird for you to hear me say that, because I've been talking trash about the Rider-Waite for the whole episodes. But this one is actually, in that respect, that symbolism is more accurate. Let's continue. From the water's edge winds the dark path of toil, effort, and possible failure. It is guarded by the threatening watchdogs. The Thoth deck has them as Anubis, which is the watchdogs. The Rider-Waite has just towers, and so you just put watchtowers. That's like what the heck. Seeking to intimidate the wayfarers, while in the distance the barren hills are surrounded by the frowning fortress, still farther guarding the way to attainment. It is the path of blood and tears, of which fear, weakness, fluctuation must be overcome. The colors are dark crimson, reddish brown, brownish crimson, plum colors, and their somber hues are lit by the translucent fade greens and yellows can be found in the counterparts. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff.
I know, that was a lot of notes.
Well, no, it's just even if you write it down, it's going to be complicated. Even if you write, if you write the whole thing, it's super complicated. Neither my card, nor the Thoth, nor the Rider-Waite have that fortress.
Can I see your card one more time?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. I love it. Oh, that's dope.
But that's my moon. That's my crawfish. There's the rivers is kind of like represented kind of like a whirlwind.
Yeah.
And then I also have the Anubis guards,
Okay.
where they're wearing
Yeah.
nemesis. So they're kind of like priests. And let me tell you why I designed it. Now we're talking about, now they're plugging my card. I think those watchdogs are diamonds. And I think we already defined what a diamond is. Not a demon, but what a diamond.
Yeah,
And
I think we should redefine it every episode in case people are skipping around.
The diamonds are basically guardians, and also the accusers. Satan, for example, is a diamond, but he is the accuser diamond. So anytime we do something wrong, he is going to note it down, and when we die, he's going to say, "This is how he effed up. This is how he made the wrong choice." But we also have diamonds that protect us. We have diamonds that guide us. We have diamonds that love us. We have diamonds that rescue us. We have and then ultimately, when we come to death, and this is the reason, and this is where I'm going with this card. When we come to death, we will meet the head diamond, and not necessarily God, but many people can see it as God. And the head diamond is the one in charge of all of those diamonds, and the one that will say, and we will be judged, and he will be the one that said, "Okay, accuser, you already accused. Now the other diamonds, let them speak. What is your point of view? Why did he make those decisions? How do you view this? How do you have this perspective?" And so they are kind of like priests. And so that's why they have those nemesis. And they also, my card also has tools. It has an ankh, and it has the sign of life. In my life, my diamond has saved my life and the life of some of my relatives a few times. And so that is why I put that there, because they have had the power to help us, overpowering what most humans consider real. And so therefore they transform reality for me and for my family. And so that is why they're there. So they're necessarily bad. They are also just there to do their job. Some of the job is not that good. Some of the job is actually pretty good, depending on how you're able to contact them and how are you with them. Like everybody says, everybody has a guardian angel, and so that's it. They can be your guardian angel as well. Particularly the moon. The moon. One thing that is hard to get from these definitions is that the moon is a very unconscious. I wouldn't even say unconscious, transdimensional power. That is what the moon truly is, and that is what Hekate is. That because Hekate is not just a goddess. Hekate is an archetype. It's an archetype of 3 different archetypes, and there are more. There is not just the 3 goddesses, but there are also 6, and then those 6 start to transform themselves into 36 goddesses.
Okay.
And so that they just transform themselves into all of these different things. And so that's why Hekate is the moon, because she has the triplicity of like the crescent moon, the waxing gibbous, and the full moon. But then among that, what is the Greek word they use? Amongst that drama of her passage, which the Dionysica and the Iliad call the being pulled by bulls. Do you want to just come out? There is like mystery, and there is unconsciousness, and there is just interdimensions that are able to modify our reality. That somehow makes sense.
Okay.
And so therefore, that is why, where it says the moon is voluntary change as opposed to death, that's us. And in entering into an interdimensionality voluntarily. But then it is hard to ride the bulls. And that is why there's error, lying, falsity, deception, as the regular definition says. But if we are brave and are able to be at peace with our diamonds, we're able to not be intimidated by those dogs like servers, and this could become a positive thing. And this is exactly what magic is. This card is the card of magic. It's the card that defines what magic is. And magic is usually not pretty because it's selfish. And so that's why we have to sometimes let the demons take the reins, because sometimes they know better than we do, and we don't have to do something selfish. We can just let them argue or plead our case with the gods, and the gods and the diamonds will know our fate better than ourselves.
I like that.
That's my spiel on the moon, because
yeah. And then I'm seeing Pisces and Pluto. Is that? Am I reading the? I'm terrible at symbols sometimes.
No, that is Kof.
Kof. Okay.
That is the Hebrew letter.
Oh, duh! It's obviously not Pluto. It's Hebrew. I'm dumb.
Yeah, that's Kof. Hebrew. That's Kof. Yeah, it
And
connects Malchut to Nechsach, which has nothing to do with the moon in the Tree of Life, but that's the assignation.
Okay.
We will have to break it down once we get into Hermetic Kabbalah, which is going to take a while, I think. It's going to be hard. I think we're going to have to break it into 4 episodes.
Excellent.
Because otherwise it's going to be hard. We're going to have to do through like the Atzilut, the Bria, the Yetzirah, and the Azaya.
Cool.
Which also have to put up with my Hebrew.
You're going to have to put up with mine.
Because I don't know how to translate this word. Atzilut is kind of like the divine world. The Bria is kind of like the archetypal world. The Yetzirah is usually defined as the world of formation. And then the Bria is just kind of like the earthly shells, or the earthly realms and the shells. And so and then how do you define shells? It's super complicated.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. There's a story about Bram Stoker and the shells when he was in the Golden Dawn, but I will not go into that. That's another topic for another talk. Okay, finally.
If you ever need Hebrew people, like speaking friends, I've got a few that are all very cool people. So
these are not necessarily Hebrew, to be honest. That's why we're talking about Hermetic Kabbalah.
Yeah.
Because I've also studied Lurianic Kabbalah, and I've also studied the Abraham Abulafia Kabbalah. I practiced it for many years, many years. His breathing techniques, his yoga techniques. I practiced Abraham Abulafia's Kabbalah for many years, until I found that it's way easier to just, not easier, easier, and it saves me a lot more time to use the Greek magical papyri. It's just way faster to work with diamonds that have to like meditate and do yoga, which I don't have time for anymore. But so yeah, Hermetic Kabbalah, you don't need Hebrew for a lot. Okay. You don't need to speak Hebrew.
Okay.
And in fact, the definitions of the Golden Dawn are contrary to Hebrew definitions, which is how I first noticed that they were wrong. And that's when I started. That's why I had to start studying Lurianic Kabbalah, because that's when I realized, this is the assignation. This is what makes sense.
Interesting.
And then there's another book. I forgot who published it. I have it up there. But it will take me a while to find it. He matches the Kabbalah with it's also Carlos Suarez. He's a French guy. He's also excellent at doing that. His Kabbalah is great. It works great with astrology in amazing ways. Like, it's just so amazing. That's why when I was trying to redo my Golden Dawn temple, I did not use the Hermetic Kabbalah of the Golden Dawn, because it was wrong, and I knew that it was wrong, and I was not going to teach something that I knew was wrong. Yeah. And so I changed all of the Kabbalah of the Golden Dawn from Hermetic Kabbalah, because it's Agrippa Kabbalah, which is bullshit anyway. Agrippa was wrong, and he has been proven wrong. He's like, to this day, people traditionally still use it, but he's wrong. And so, but Carlos Suarez is right. and you can prove it, mathematically and just logically how he is right every single time. And so the Carlos Suarez basically used Lurianic and Abraham Abulafia's Kabbalah and transformed it into a Kabbalah that is more modern, which is not that, it wasn't that difficult, but it was, I don't know, when I first discovered his books, I was like, holy crap, this guy is right. And so it was amazing for me. And so that is the Kabbalah that I'm probably going to talk about. That's why I give quotes, because I am not going to teach the Hermetic Kabbalah. I'm sorry. I'm going to teach Carlos Suarez's Kabbalah because it makes sense. Logically, it works every single time. Whereas if you teach somebody the Golden Dawn, or at least this book, Kabbalah, to a Hebrew person, a person that speaks Hebrew, that person is going to destroy you. Because he will tell you that is not what that means. That is not what it says. It's like, that is the wrong definition. And then now that we have so much literature on how did Hebrew develop as a language, now we know that this book is wrong, as far as the Kabbalah is concerned.
And when was this book written?
This book was kind of put together in 3 stages. It was first put together by MacGregor Mathers around 1890. Then it was put together by Falcon, which he put it together kind of like in the 1960s, 1970s. And then Israel Rigardi went to hunt down the papers in New Zealand, and there was nobody that would want to give it to him until he begged, and finally this paper professor said, okay, here are the papers, shut up, leave me alone. We don't Golden Dawn anymore. And that's the 3rd iteration of this book. Israel Rigardi grabbed all those flying rolls and put them into this book, into this volume.
That's wild.
That is wild. And then Hyatt kind of helped get rid of the Antiqui language of the 1890s from Mathers.
Okay.
So this book reads like a 1970s book, which is in English that we are very familiar with. But a lot of the papers that Rigardi got were still MacGregor Mathers papers. And it had the Antiqui language of like, where they're upon, looking upon the widows, or, language that is no longer used. And uppity up English people in the 1890s certainly used. And so we can thank Hyatt to make it a little bit simpler to read.
Nice.
All right, the sun. Now we can talk about the sun. Let's read the divinatory definition first. The divinatory definition is glory, gain, riches, sometimes also arrogance. Oh yeah, you want me to go slow because of your lunch?
Yeah, please. Glory, gain, riches.
Sometimes also arrogance.
Wait, what was that? What did you say? Tongue times?
Arrogance.
Arrogance, and what did you say right before that?
Sometimes.
Oh, sometimes. Okay, sorry.
Excuse my accent.
No, you're good.
Display, vanity, but only when with very evil cards.
Okay.
See, that's where we're getting into, like, what the cards have, like, they have definitions for their neighboring other cards. What?
Yeah.
So
this card is giving me very Leo vibes, but I don't see the Leo sign.
That's exactly what it is. And in fact, it has the sun and it has Yod in the card, which is wrong because it's Resh. Now
it's what?
It's Resh. The Resh means head. See, that one I know is right. That one, the Hebrew is right. I know that Resh is head. But for example, Aleph is the ox. That's wrong in Hebrew. Aleph is not. So we're gonna have to get into the Hebrew definition. That's probably one of the things we could probably be one of your Hebrew friends, because.
Yeah, I'm so down. I know that they would be down too. I have some really fun ones.
It's like, you are wrong. But I know Resh is right. So it's not Yod, even though I can. Oh yeah, wait a minute. It is Resh. It's probably Resh. I'm probably misjudging it. They used like Lady Harris cannot do very good Hebrew. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a resh that she was trying to draw. So it's not wrong. He's right.
Okay.
All right, let's go for the big definition. The watery paths of trial and probation are counterbalanced by the fiery paths of temperance, judgment, and decision. In violent contrast to the somber coloring of Aquarius and Pisces, we are confronted by the flaring hues of the sun and fire. The two aspiring Icarus may find his waxing wings of ambition and curiosity shriveled and melted by the fiery rays of the sun and heat of fire. Approach with humility and reverence. The sun becomes the beneficent source of life. Protected by an enclosing wall, standing by the waters of repentance. The pilgrim may submit himself humbly, but without fear, to the searching light and absorb the warmth and vitality from it for the struggle before him. The colors are clear orange, golden yellow, and amber shot with red, and contrasting blue and purple. So you hear the MacGregor Mathers coloring, somber, two inspiring Icarus. That's MacGregor Mathers.
Okay.
That's Mathers there talking. And of course, Falcon, he was English too, so he didn't bother to change it. All right, so let's get into the cards. The thought deck. Let's begin with the thought because it's easier. I don't know what the heck was Pixie doing here. She just basically put like a little boy on a horse. It's kind of like Icarus. But,
okay. I would have not guessed Icarus.
But that's bullshit because Icarus was not flying on a horse.
No. Even I know that, and I don't know that much.
That's right. Europa was flying on a bull, but there was no Icarus flying on a horse.
No.
And so therefore, let's talk about the thought deck because that makes way more sense. Okay. So yes, we have Icarus and we have his dad. I forgot his name. Or is Icarus the dad? Was Icarus the dad and there was the son? No, Icarus was the son, right?
You're asking the wrong part. I learned all of this for the first time I was learning Spanish, so none of it stayed with me.
Okay, well, sorry. Well, anyway, we have the two flying dudes. Looking at
in plain English.
In plain English, that's right. The two flying dudes, which also is kind of like in Greek, Icarus means something different. It means something. It's not just a name.
Okay.
It means like Icar, and then nous means like of. I don't know what Icar means off the top of my head, but the Icarus means something like all these names, like Greek god names, mean something. Like Persephone means the bringer of death. Hades means basically forget. And so Zeus just basically means Deus, like Deo, like God, like Dios in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So Zeus immediately translates to Dios. In fact, I was reading today. I was like, I'm going to Turkey, so I'm like reading like stuff that
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, so I was reading today the altar of Hekate, which the altar of Hekate is not in the temple of Lagina, but it's in the town of Lagina.
Are you going?
Yeah. And so it's like it's in the middle. It's in front of a bench in some park. It's like
what?
I guess somebody was trying to steal it, and they thought, "Oh my gosh, it's too heavy, so let's just leave it here." But they certainly stole the statue.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yes, they certainly stole the statue of Hekate, and I'm pretty sure it's the one that's in the Vatican Museum. But the altar, they tried to steal it, but they couldn't probably carry it, and they just left it in the park.
Wow.
And it's kind of cool because I don't have it with me, but I wrote what it says in Greek, and I was translating it a little bit. It's also like it's also so Hekate, so in your face, because it talks about like let me see. I don't want to lie to you, so
please don't lie to me.
I will not lie to you. Let me tell you what it says. How can I show you the picture? of the altar, but I know it's the altar because of what it says.
Mm.
The altar says, Atha Deus, so to God, to God, to the goddess, Hermokratoi, which basically means the destroyer of Hermes.
Oh, wow.
Which is like, that is why it belongs to Hekatean.
Yeah, wow.
Good goddess, that destroyer of Hermes. It goes to the mythology of like, Hermes says, I'm the god of death. No, you're not. You're just a child. And Hermes puts him in his place.
Wow.
I mean, Hecate puts Hermes in his place. And that is what the author begins at. Ad theos hermokraton. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like, that's how you begin your sentence. It's
yeah, like, wow.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go back to the sun. Sorry.
Okay. No, I love a side quest.
And so, and it's not very difficult. Just you have Icarus looking up at the sun, and the sun is like the triumphant king over the signs of the zodiac. And so, it's just kind of like, I still have it from our last conversation. It's basically this again.
Yeah.
That's the sun being the king over the signs of the zodiac. So he has the power over all the signs. And so illumination, virtue, harmony. And so when you read that in a divinatory sense, that is exactly what it means. That it has the virtue of all of those things. Kind of like a deus, deus hermokratos.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like this one out of all the cards is like the easiest.
Yep, this one's the easiest.
All right, and obviously the sun sign is the
sun. I'm glad that Crowley didn't get X-rated on this one, which is great.
Which is great. Sometimes it's a little fun.
He could have very well gotten very X-rated on that one, but he did not, which is great. Thank you, Crowley.
I do see like the little tiny like Icaruses. It looks like it's more like a moth wing than a butterfly wing.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know what that means. Oh, well, yeah, they have the wings of paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why they fell and died.
That's what I was gonna say next. I was like, if it was like a butterfly, I think it would be like a whole different interpretation. But like a moth, like again, like vanity, riches. Like if you go too far and not do the self-reflective work or something, that you could burn and die, or I don't know.
Right. Correct.
What are the two little tiny symbols underneath their feet?
I have no idea. I don't see them. I don't know what they are.
They're like these two little balls under their feet. They're like darker colors right above the Cancer crab.
I don't know.
Huh.
Let me see if I can. Maybe I'm too old, or maybe I don't know.
I can't even get bigger in on them. They're like almost like coins or turtle shells. They're very unique.
I don't know. Let me see. It looked like man.
I love that you have a magnifying glass out because I wish I had one.
Yeah, this is my handy dandy like magnifying glass. Yeah, I don't know what they are. They look like men. I don't know.
What's that? Men?
They look like men. Like men going like this.
Huh. Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're just men.
Huh. Interesting.
But I'm sorry. I let you down. I don't know what that means in why they're little coins with little men in them.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm over here asking the hard questions.
Good. Put me.
Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Well, I think we have everything for this, and then I'll see you in 10 minutes in Espanol.
Right on.
Sweet. All right, I will see you in a bit.